I woke up a couple days ago with some interesting things on my mind. First, would this sandwich be fire? Why am I not surprised? But second, I hate fun. How unforgivably hard can I make Terraria? And let's just say, it's pretty hard. But we need a method to the madness, so we're going to have to set a couple ground rules before we begin. First of all, we're handicapping the game, not ourselves, so we can't just take a long walk with a short pier, or, just wear a blindfold or something. But I feel like the measures we could take there leave it quite open-ended, and I feel like I have a good life to live, so none of that. Secondly, the game has to be beatable. Beatable being in quotation marks, because it doesn't have to be beatable for me, and it pretty definitely won't be.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
But we can't just give Wall of Flesh 1,000,000 health, so it's just never beatable. Thirdly, we have access to both vanilla features, so for example, for the worthy, and modded features, so for example, Inferno mode. But that pretty much wraps them up. If we come across something later, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Starting off with normal vanilla, there's quite a couple of features we can address it. Starting off, even in character selection, we can make our character hardcore. This doesn't even make it as hard as much as it's just infuriating, because every time you die, back to the beginning. I may be inventing a new form of psychological torture in this video that is not yet banned by the Geneva Convention. Our next little modifications come in the world of creation itself, where you first set it to the hardest seed in the game, for the worthy. This basically changes all AI to be a lot more unforgiving to the player. Like, come on, it's one more Servant of Cthulhu and they still did it. It increases all enemy health and contact damage, in addition to the world difficulty multiplier, by their standard amount in a normal world. After that, the damage is increased by another 33%. For example, in Master Mode, they are increased by 33% and 77%, compared to Standard Master Mode, which as you can imagine, just makes most things one-shot you. Although, to be fair, this doesn't alter the world generation too much, only a couple of lower pulls here and there. We then set the world difficulty to the hardest available, Master, and when these two are combined, they form Legendary Mode, which is probably the hardest inbuilt challenge in vanilla Terraria. Also, it would be, if it wasn't for this one other world seed. Whilst researching for this video, I found out that the Zenith or Get Fixed Boy seed also incurs this difficulty increase from Master Mode, which I didn't actually know. And since this seed is just all around harder and more chaotic than just for the worthy, we have found our true hardest vanilla combination. The Zenith seed includes all of the previously mentioned for the worthy changes, alongside pretty much every other special Terraria seed. Not the bees, the constant, no traps, all of them. Yeah, I don't think you can take in the world changes by just reading them here, so just take a little peek. Yeah, that's what it does. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and sub. It's only one click for you, but it really helps me out. Anyway, thanks and back to the video. But you didn't just come here for the vanilla changes, did you? You're here to see what we can achieve by just hellishly modding the game. So let's just get straight into it. Straight off, we add what's probably Terraria's best mod, Calamity, which is, well, is not really all that anymore, known for quite a strong difficulty increase. But that's old news, who would want just Calamity? So we got Infernum in on it as well. But before I can explain what Infernum actually does, we encountered a slight problem. An Infernum Zenith world would not generate. I'm assuming this is because of the world changes that Infernum makes, like Providence's Arena, but me being the absolute genius I am, figured out that it worked with normal Calamity. So if we just uninstall Infernum, make the world, then reinstall Infernum and set the difficulty, I mean, we pretty much don't lose out on anything. It's not like the world gen was going to make it any harder. Plus, I think world gen is optimal hard right now, so changes would probably make it easier, in all honesty. Infernum doesn't make any overall stat changes, but just changes the stats and AI of each individual boss, making them look pretty good too. And it probably makes for just one of the most fun playthroughs in modded Terraria. Yeah, bosses go from looking like this to looking like this. Pretty big change. By the way, I also have a couple of the 100,000 Calamity add-on mods installed, just because they're pretty cool And plus, more bosses equals harder game. So, with Infernum now securely installed, we moved on to what's kind of the other side of the same coin here. The other hard difficulty in modern Terraria. Eternity mode from Fargo's Souls mod, or well, Masochist mode, since we're doing Eternity on Master mode, which is also now Legendary mode. You can see how it all starts to get confusing real fast. This effectively works the same, but just for Vanilla and Fargo's bosses instead of Vanilla and Calamity's bosses, which is why I also got Fargo's Souls DLC, Calamity, which should kind of bridge the content gap between the two. However, despite this, it is still highly advised to not mix Infernum with Eternity, as it just messes the game up and makes it generally unfun, to the point where you have to even trigger a setting to allow the two to mix. But we ain't here to have fun. If we wanted that, then we'd be making Terraria as easy as possible. Wait, that's a video idea and a half. So this is pretty much where we're at right now. Zenith Seed, Legendary mode, Infernum mode, Eternity mode. Wait, slimes don't actually do a lot of damage. Obviously, we're putting this hellscape of a spawn, but yeah, we knew that from before. What better test do we have for the difficulty than Eye of Cthulhu? Even though we can have both Infernum and Eternity mode on, and have both of their stat changes active, they both use separate AI, so we pretty much have to pick and choose which we think is harder, at least for Eye of Cthulhu. I mean, they both just one-shot you, but from what I can see here, Infernum actually gives you a chance to play the game, whilst Eternity just stands on business, sets a speedrun timer for how fast it can kill you, and just gets to work. It might be the fact that I'm summoning it with cheat sheet. Come on, chill out, man. In this little experimentation, you might also notice that some of these enemies are special. And not special in the our special little boy sense, just special as in special. Like the Servant of Cthulhu who just has straight up aura. Well, basically, this is another Fargo's mod I found called Fargo's Enemy Modifiers, which, in short, just gives enemies a modifier. But Jakob, you might be saying, this isn't only one modifier, it's 10. Who is B to B? And to that, I'd say, well done, you can count. If we go into the mod config and play around a bit with the settings, we can make it a guaranteed 10 modifiers for every enemy spawn. So yeah, that includes Eye of Cthulhu, whoever B to B is, and even the Servants of Cthulhu, hence this guy's literal aura. I'm not actually sure what all of these different modifiers do, but I can tell you for sure that they more than double anything's health. So yeah, I'd say this makes for a harder game. Now, this is where I got to the point that I figured, you know what, if it looks hardish, I'll add it. Random boss spawns, why not? I can't wait to be building a house just for Moonlord to pull up. Death counters, well, this is more psychologically hard because it reminds you how much time you've wasted on this game. You know, some people have cured diseases in less time than some people have spent on certain games. That's crazy. Next, we got Rain Overhaul. I'm not even going to pretend to understand what this will do, but Rain mod's a hard game, so why not, I guess. This is a consideration to be made for the future. Maybe. This might be a little too hard though. This might be a new, incomprehensible difficulty entirely. Okay, but hear me out. Surely this isn't that hard. It's pretty much just a no-hit. I'm not saying a no-hit isn't hard. I struggle to no-hit a blue slime sometimes. But it's beatable. So it beats our quota. Try doing this on true melee though. Oh my god. But I think we've played around enough here. I'm willing to bet that nobody is beating this selection of mods. But if you're masochist enough, be my guest. I'm sure there's more we could do. There's always going to be more we could do. So yeah, let's round it off here. Thanks for watching. This is really just another random ass video I felt like making. But yeah, if you enjoyed, make sure to like and sub, and I'll see you next time. If this video gets 1k likes, I'll make a toast sandwich in my next.